In the world of e-commerce, there's a wide spectrum of businesses. On one end, you have websites like Amazon that sell nearly everything under the sun. On the opposite end are niche e-commerce businesses with a smaller, narrow product line. Q Spy Associates. This big commerce-based business has built its corner of the internet to sell security and surveillance products to consumers and businesses. Being a niche comes with its own set of challenges. I'm Angie with Lucky Orange, and we're going to tackle one of the biggest challenges for a niche website, the first impression. We're going to look at the first impression a customer would get from Spy Associates. Use Lucky Orange dynamic heat maps to evaluate what we find, and set up live chat to bring fast answers to your customers. Welcome to the homepage. I really like that the main navigation has been pared down, though I wonder if people are using the top level categories or using the drop downs to access the subcategories. Also, I noticed 3 things. 1, the hero images tend to be more distracting than helpful. 2, the recently viewed tab, which is empty right now since I'm a new customer. And 3, the need help, send us a question, get fast answers button. It actually leads to a contact form instead of a chat. These are 4 things that can be helped to improve that first impression for this BigCommerce website. We're going to switch over to dynamic heat maps to let visitor behavior show us more. This is a Lucky Orange dynamic heat map, which shows you where people click and how far they scrolled on a web page. Unlike a traditional static heat map, what you're seeing is an overlay on this BigCommerce website that lets us view drop-downs, pop-ups, and even navigate through the site as heat map data populates on top. Right now, I'm in a precise interaction heat map, which shows exactly where people are clicking. First, let's look at that main navigation. Remember, we're trying to see if people are using the top-level categories or instead going to the drop-downs to click on the subcategories. When it comes to clicks on the top navigation, there are large clusters over new, sale, and hidden cameras. When we look into the drop-down for hidden cameras, we can see which areas are getting more attention. In this case, it's hidden cameras by location, especially at home. As we move to audio surveillance, this is where you can also see there are more clicks on the listening devices. The same can't be said for GPS trackers or counter surveillance. This could be a seasonal change or related to COVID-19, so I would recommend extending your data storage to see data over a longer period of time to evaluate if it's indeed seasonal or related to your customer preferences. Now let's move to the hero images. I like that you've added the option to scroll between the images, and I also like that you had that hands-free thermometer, which appeals to businesses who are trying to reopen in the wake of quarantine. However, you can tell there's not a lot of engagement here. This specific image for the infrared thermometer makes sense because it was just put up a few days ago. However, the rest of them have been up for a longer time. This could be related to 2 things. 1, your call to action button on 2 of the images are nearly touching your sidebar items. If I'm looking at your hero image, I wouldn't necessarily see the call to action button without minimizing those sidebars. Or 2, the rotating images and larger amounts of text make it harder to read so quickly. I would suggest testing out a static image to see if that ramps up your engagement. Moving to the right, I want you to see that people are collapsing the recently viewed items tab. This is a good indicator that you should trigger it to show only when someone has looked at a product or has returned for a second or third visit, rather than making it a default on your homepage for those first-time visitors. We have to talk about this need help, send us a question, get fast answers button. There are a few issues here. One is that the clicks on the X to close the button is one of the top clicked elements on the page. Secondly, it takes you to a form. Even if you have an answer for a customer in less than 2 minutes, they would still have to leave your site, check their inbox, and then come back. Instead, use live chat to answer their questions while they're still on your site. The first impression of the current away form is so different than a live chat. The away form is impersonal and not responsive. Live chat, however, gives a truly fast answer and is more proactive in reaching customers. Here's how you set up live chat. Under the Chat tab within Lucky Orange, go to Settings. You can also access this through the Settings cog located by your name in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Just make sure you go to Chat on the left-hand side of the Settings menu. This lets you set up the chat button to your unique specifications. You can change the color, the text that invites people to chat, the alignment on the page. It gives you the ability to make it specific to your brand. Save the changes when you're done and click the Not Available for Chat button to make yourself available for chat. That's all it takes. You can also set up auto invites that will trigger when someone meets certain criteria, such as searches for a product or spends more than 45 seconds on a product page. That would help engage customers and answer their questions during that critical decision-making process. Whether it's investigating how visitors really use SpyAssociates.com or implementing chat, there are a lot of great opportunities for this BigCommerce store. To recap, 1. Test out using a static hero image rather than rotating hero images. And make sure your call to action button doesn't blend in with your sidebar items. Give visitors the ability to read the hero image and click into it. Use dynamic heat maps to evaluate the results. 2. Trigger your recently viewed sidebar to only show when someone does view a product rather than when they first land on your site. That isn't making the first impression any better for those visitors who have never seen your products before. 3. Launch chat on your website to bring customers immediate answers to their questions, and use auto invites to trigger a chat invitation at just the right moment during their journey. Niche stores like Spy Associates can find great opportunities to grow their sales, and visitor behavior is going to make it easier to understand what visitors experience and use that information to make changes that ultimately drive more sales. I can't wait to see how Spy Associates makes just a few updates to turn a first impression into a conversion. To try Lucky Orange on your BigCommerce website, find us in BigCommerce's app marketplace to get started. You can also find us online at luckyorange.com. To watch more website analysis videos like this one, be sure to click the subscribe button below.